Hello and welcome to the Reetin Entertainment Podcast, episode 355 for June, 19th, 2022. My name is Nathan Reetin-Spruth. Joining me this week, we have Andrew. Wait, no, he's not here. It's Connor the Cyberpunk Monk Besh.
We're coming in live from Reetin's basement. It's the Reetin Entertainment Show.
I wish I had a basement. I really, really wish I had a basement. That'd be nice. But lots of manufactured homes, shockingly, don't have basements.
They didn't manufacture the hole where they would be installed at just to... Oh, wait. What would a double-decker manufactured home really even look like?
It would be awesome, is what it would look like. What I would do if I were to build property is I would have a crappy manufactured home on the property, and then it would have a staircase down to a really nice finished basement. I think that would be nice because then it would just look like a crappy manufactured home. It'd be good. Anyway,
have you been watching that Colin Furs guy again? Is that what this is all about?
No, I have no idea who that is.
He built a bunker in his backyard. I'll send you a link. I think you'll vibe on that.
Probably. Anyway, where can we find you?
You could find me at Aroa.website. That's all my relevant social media links. One of those links that I want to bring your attention to is Clinton's Core Classics, a Rise of the Rune Lords First Edition actual play podcast. I work really hard on it, and I would be just pleased as punched if you were to check it out.
Yes, and I work minimally on it, as little as possible. But I do host it and pay for it, so there is that. Anyway,
you do produce it.
Yes, I do. And of course, you can find me. I'm at Aroa.website as well, but mainly just find me at Reetin everywhere. You can find me on Twitter at Reetin and Twitch at Reetin, Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. Pacific time to 9 p.m. Pacific time. However, I will not be there this upcoming Wednesday. I don't know the date on that. It's the 22nd of June, because I'm going to go to a Tenacious D concert.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
And I know you're not wanting to, go out in public really, but I was driving home from the coast yesterday because I had to go to the coast for work. Oh no, I had to spend time at the beach and gamble. And my girlfriend's like, who's opening for Tenacious D? And I was like, I have no idea. Not a single clue. And she was like, it's fucking Puddles. And I was like, what? Really? And she's like, yeah, Puddles Pity Party is opening for Tenacious D. And I was like, that makes me so happy. You have no idea.
I love Puddles Pity Party.
I've seen him in person before the pandemic happened. And we were planning on seeing him because he was going to be back near us in April of 2020, and something happened in March of 2020, and so it got canceled. I don't know what happened around March of 2020 that would have triggered everything to close down, but we should probably do something about it. Sounds like a big deal. Anyway,
I don't think we need to. I think you're overreacting.
I probably am overreacting. So what games have you played this week?
I've still got that 3DS, and I'm still playing through that Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, because it's still the most entertaining game I could think to play. And let me tell you, when you play the same game for 25 years, you could really fly through it.
How many times have you beaten that game?
In my life, probably close to 10.
I mean, this week.
Oh, not yet. What I'm doing to keep myself entertained is I'm trying to hardcore sequence break the game.
Oh,
and
I
I'm
see.
also trying not to use the Master Sword. I got the big Goron sword. I'm just going to carve through the game with that. And it's easy. This is a good weapon.
Now, that's not the one that breaks after one swing.
No, the one at the end of the famous trading sequence that has you running around on stupid timed missions that aren't difficult but are stressful.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
plenty of time, but you put a timer beneath, and you're like, "Oh god."
Yeah, yeah, I don't like those. I don't like timed missions a lot in games. My favorite timed mission is a mission that they don't tell you about. And I think I know, or they don't tell you that there's a timer. And I think you know what I'm referring to. It's the Deus Ex Human Revolution. The
Oh,
first,
yes, I do know what you're talking about, the very first mission.
yeah, where they're like, hey, there's a lot of hostages. If you don't hurry up and get there, they're all going to die. And you're like, I'm going to go do shopping.
I'm playing a game. I'm going to explore every nook and cranny of this building. What do you mean the bomb went off?
Uh-oh. And so you show up there and like all the hostages are dead and you're like, "What the hell?"
What happened?
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder what could have happened. Oh, it was my bad. It was my
Yeah,
fault.
it's sorry, detective. I got there and the bomb had already went off. It must have already been off.
Yeah.
That they must have done that immediately.
Yeah. Nope, nope. Anyway,
Why do
probably
I look
don't.
like I'm carrying 80 pounds worth of office equipment? Don't worry about it.
So anyway, did you play anything else?
I was gonna say I played Space Station 13. I don't think I actually did.
Oh
I've
no.
been editing and I've been painting. I've been doing a lot of painting this week, which is a good stress reliever.
Yes. Yes, it is for you. It probably wouldn't be for me because I stress from making mistakes while painting, and I am terrible at painting.
They're not mistakes. They're happy accidents.
Oh, I see. You've been
And
watching a
the amount of times I say that to myself while painting is like, oh god damn it, another happy accident.
yeah. Um, so you've been watching a lot of Bob Ross painting Warhammers.
That's you know, if nobody's done that before, that would be a good like Twitch gimmick. I should do the minimum amount of research into this
I'm
and buy a
sure
wig.
I'm sure somebody has done that already. But anyway, we're gonna. Was there anything else that you want to talk about before we move on to me?
No, I did
Okay.
whatever.
So me, I played. What did I play on Monday? I played. Oh, I played Guild
Digimon?
Wars. Guild Wars.
Oh, right. That's right. You played Guild Wars for some reason. I was so surprised to see that.
And the reason is years ago, like 10 years ago, I think I bought for like $10 before it was free. So the base game now for Guild Wars 2 is free to play. But before that, I had actually bought like the first set for Guild Wars 2. And I was
Mhm.
like, I want to do something different. So I played some Guild Wars 2. It was not terrible. Uh it's there's a problem with modern MMOs, and by modern I mean within the last 10 years, is that everything is super easy to solo. Just everything. And so, I played for a good 3 hours and I wasn't struggling at all. I think I died once. And then it just immediately respawned me and I killed everything. So, a lot of modern MMOs really easy to solo and level up. It wasn't bad, but I haven't really got to crafting or anything like that. But you played it. I don't think the crafting's very involved, is it?
No. Hey, why is my phone unmuted? What the hell? Let me fix
Is
that real
that
quick.
is
Sorry about
that
that, buddy.
is that Sonic?
No, that's Capcom.
Capcom. Okay, okay.
I muted my phone before we started. What the hell? Oh, it connected to my Wi-Fi and it. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Oopsies.
So anyway, did not really. I mean, it's not that I didn't enjoy the time that I was playing. I just don't see it as much of an MMO as it could be. But I have,
It could be as much of an MMO as you want to put the time and effort with your, I don't know, gang of other people who are also looking for the same thing to do.
yeah,
Like if you got people invested in it, it's a good time. Just like any other MMO.
yeah, exactly.
But
They also
it's
they have like 5 expansions that I don't have, so I just have the base game.
the free to play trap.
Yeah,
You get the
exactly.
first 10 levels and look at all this cool stuff that you could get if you just gave us a little
No, no, no.
money.
To be fair, I think Guild Wars 2, the free to play is pretty substantial. I think you get more than 10, like you get the entire base game. before any of the expansions came out. Kind of like Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy
14.
14, not 15. Don't get that one. But Final Fantasy 14, they give you the entire base game of Realm Reborn and the entire first expansion to play through for a free trial, which I think is really, really good.
Yeah,
So,
they definitely didn't need to put that much in.
no. So, then I played Digimon Tuesday and Wednesday. And on Thursday, now normally Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, whatever game I'm playing through right now is Digimon, I'll play. But I was missing Friday, and you wanted to play Payday. So we
I did
played
want to play
Payday on
Payday,
Thursday.
and it was fun.
It was fun. We did pretty much exactly how I thought we would. We failed a couple missions.
I
And
definitely had cobwebs to brush off. I hadn't played, like, I think this year.
yeah, and then we succeeded in a couple of missions. Apparently, you scoff at how many civilians I let not live.
I mean, I understand you have money to blow, but there is a pride to be taken in successful stealth.
We successfully stealth missions by killing the civilians.
If nobody's alive to catch you, then you weren't caught.
Exactly. So, that was fun. You are playing in VR. How is that?
I don't want to say it's great. There are definitely some issues with it, but it is my preferred way of playing any shooter.
It
Like,
is. It
gun to
is
my head,
true.
if I have to play Payday keyboard and mouse or in VR, I'm going to take VR every single time.
Yeah. The only problem I have with it is the microphone on the original Vive is not good.
Well, why don't you get me a lavalier mic and I will upgrade my audio quality just for when we're streaming.
You could do that, or you could just buy an index. No, no, I wouldn't.
It's not enough of a jump for me.
Yeah, I think that the if I were to do it, I'd probably get the Vive 2. But one of my things is I want the VR to be completely wireless.
It's not a
And
must, but it is a nice to have.
and I know the Vive 2 has an adapter for that, but it only lasts like 2 hours.
I've had
Yeah.
sessions longer. We played for longer than 2 hours.
We played for 3 hours cuz that's how long I stream. So that would be that would be the kicker. Is I would need one that would have a better battery pack that would last like 4 or 5 hours. But I understand most people aren't going to play VR for 3 to 5 hours. Like
Grubs?
grubs?
Scrubs.
Scrubs. Yes, exactly.
As in a synonym of, like, I don't know, plebeian.
Most people are going to play VR for like an hour at a time. They'll launch up like Beat Saber or something. That's of course there's exceptions, but from what I there's a lot of casual gamers who will get like the Oculus and then just be like, "Oh, look, I can play this game," and then like set it down and then let their kids play with it for an hour or something like that.
Can't you
Not
play, like, all of Resident Evil 4 on the Oculus Quest? Like, if you're just a casual gamer and maybe even a step above that, that's fine.
yeah.
It's not what I'm looking for in a VR headset, but we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
kinda already at that level where you can get leisurely level VR pretty cheap.
Yeah, like $300 for the Oculus Quest, is it? Is really good. And unfortunately, when I worked at Facebook, I asked the question during our training because we had to do like training for how to support the internal people who are needing their computers to work for Oculus. And I was like, so since and he's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. So we don't get it. We didn't get a discount on any of that. It sucked. Anyway, so those were the games I played. Then I went to the coast and I gambled. And I made like
How was that?
$100. I won.
Oh,
I won.
good
I
for you.
won. Yeah, I won $100. My girlfriend won a little bit of money. And we had our hotel room paid for by my work. I got paid to drive there, and I got overtime while driving back home.
So are you guys looking for agents who don't mind being on site?
No, and not right now. Though they have said that they want to grow the team at some point. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're gonna move on and we're gonna talk about some news stories. First off, while we were recording our podcast last week, they did the PC game showcase.
And if you missed it, we're not surprised by that.
Yeah, we barely saw that it was a thing, and honestly, it shouldn't really be a thing.
Good on them for doing it. There's nothing bad in, publicize. Like, this is probably just as much for investors as it is for consumers, right? Like, it's a
Yeah,
snapshot of the state of things to come.
yeah,
But that being said, there wasn't much coming.
yeah. Well, my thing is a lot of the PC game showcase things, or things like Microsoft has their own event, and it's like everything's coming to PC.
Right.
And then even Sony was like, "Hey, we're bringing Spider-Man to PC."
Hey, we can't build enough PS5s, so until then, we need to coop our money. Here you go, PC guys.
No, I think it's more like we want to make boatloads of money, and this game's 5 years old. We're going to release it on PC now, and everyone's going to buy it again. That's
I'm probably going
probably
to buy it. I mean, you played it. It's pretty damn good, right?
It's so good. It is the best superhero game.
I mean, like the Spider-Man for GameCube, Spider-Man 2, I think it was specifically, is like what they were going for with this.
Yeah.
The best one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it when it comes out for PC.
Well, we're gonna move. We're kind of getting off topic.
Here's
but
exciting
also,
things to talk about for PC.
Yeah.
Before we get into the
yeah. Miles Morales is coming to PC as well.
Cool.
Which is, I played the original Spider-Man game, the base game, but I never played Miles Morales, because it wasn't really its own game. It's like, it's a sequel, but it's more like an expansion pack that you had to pay $45 for, or $60 for, whatever it was.
I know we said no tangents, but this is kind of a relevant tangent. Did you know that Miles Morales is Thor now?
Is he?
There's a comic series where he's Thor, and it's kind of cringy.
That's weird.
He says things like "by Odin's fade," and Odin has Timberlands, and Mjolnir is covered in graffiti.
Why would they? Okay. Anyway, we're gonna move on and talk about the PC game showcase, and we're gonna say the only one game I really wanted to talk about here. There's another one, but it didn't show any gameplay. So the one I kind of wanted to talk about, again, didn't show any gameplay, so I don't know what it is. But it's Black Firewall. It's about an operating system that doesn't want to update.
Oh, I forgot all about that one. That one does look like a lot of. Well, I haven't seen a lot of it, but it does look like a fun story.
The humor, it's kind of on par, but not, clearly not the same as like the Stanley Parable.
Right.
Just that self-referential humor. That
I like it when a game is self-aware. Yeah.
Yeah, and so an update comes through in the trailer. An update comes through, and they're like, "Hey, update to." OS 10 point blah blah blah, and the computer's like, "No, I'm good. I don't want to update." And then he's like, let me try to find that file. Oh man, it's taking forever to load that. And then somebody else is like, "You should probably update." He's like, "Shut up, I don't want to update."
I don't want to update.
Yeah. So that looks silly, but I have no idea what the gameplay is going to be like. So we can't really talk about it too much. But there is a game that does look really cool called Agent 64. It has the same art style and hopefully not the same gameplay as GoldenEye 64. I have yet to play it, but apparently there is a demo for it already on PC if you wanted to download it and play it. Did you look at the trailer or anything?
I saw the trailer. I didn't know there was a demo. I'm give me a second while I look something up.
There were a lot of demos that were released based on the PC, based on it being basically E3 week without E3. So
Right.
WrestleQuest got a demo.
Have you? I know you said you tried that on your your Steam Deck, right?
Yeah, I have yet to actually play through the whole demo. I will say that one thing that bugged me about it, that I don't know why, maybe later on in the game they actually do it, but Macho Man walks to the ring and they do not play Pomp and Circumstance.
Seems like a bit of a swing and a miss. Maybe that should be in public domain, right?
Yeah, it was released in 1917, something like that. Like it's before that cutoff date, so it is in public domain, so they could definitely use it.
Huh.
And
Coming
then,
soon to an update near you.
yeah, and then I was talking to Aroa about this before, and I talked to you about it on Thursday. Is there are things that wrestlers have used as entrance themes that I didn't know were other things before. So, like, I didn't know when I was a kid that Pomp and Circumstance was the graduation theme. I just thought it was Macho Man's entrance. I also did not know that the theme from 2001: A Space Odyssey was the theme from 2001: A Space Odyssey. I thought it was just Ric Flair's entrance theme. But Agent 64, to talk about Agent 64, it looks good. I don't know. I really hope the controls are better than GoldenEye. But it does look pretty.
It couldn't be much worse. Like, I assume it's being made with modern controllers in mind.
It looks so much like GoldenEye 64, though. Like, it is a spot-on recreation of that style of gameplay and graphics. Do you think are you gonna try out the demo?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try out the demo.
It's Agent 64: Spies Never Die, coming in 2022. So it's gonna come out within the next 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Time is a ticking.
And you can find the demo online somewhere. I'm sure it's in the article. Yep. Demo is now available on Steam. So anyway, what games did you want to talk about out of this PC game showcase?
There are 2 games on here that I feel like I'm the one who should be responsibly talking about them.
Yeah.
One of these is System Shock, and you know what we learned is not much. They were talking about it. They're like, there's still no release date.
Look, we got a trailer, okay, and we got like 4 seconds of gameplay.
And the trailer does look good in that, like, it looks like they're paying a lot of attention to lighting and shaders.
Yeah.
In a game like System Shock, a little bit's gonna go a long way, I think. Like, if they take the time to really nail that, it's gonna make the atmosphere stand out so much more. The HUD looks great. You were going to say?
I was going to say, I hope that this game is good, because I know System Shock, the original, is good, but I came in trying to play System Shock too late, I think. So, like, I'm like, why are the controls so obtuse, and what the hell is going on?
What I have to click on things and then unclick on things so I could shoot and draw my what? Yeah, and that is something that they have an interview with game designer Warren Spector, who even he's like, yeah, this is a primitive game design. Like, it's, I think his exact word is that it was the unfortunate nature of modern era not being able to like keep up with the. I'm trying to think of how to say. There's a lot of weird interactions in System Shocks that I don't think would fly anymore. Like, you can't just walk up to a wall and hold X to interact. There was more of a personal, like, intimate puzzle nature to it.
Yeah. So
And it seems like they're probably going to reimagine a lot of those things to make the game. I don't want to say playable, maybe enjoyable.
It also reminds me of like, looking at the old System Shock. There were a couple old Ultima games that were very similar in the way that you move around and the way that you swing, like, your sword and stuff.
Mhm.
The Ultima Underground, and I think System Shock was made around the same time as those games. So really good if you played them, but if you're trying to go back to them, kind of like GoldenEye 64, really good, but you try to go back to it with the modern controller in mind, and you're like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, that, why is it like this? Why is there only one analog stick?
it's how it's what we had.
Yeah.
We did with what we could, what we had.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Anyway.
So, no release date for System Shock, but hopefully, I'd be surprised if it was 2023 or even 24 at this point. Like, they'll have an announcement date when they're ready to start like building hype, and they're
Yeah.
clearly not at that point. It seems like they're just like, "Hey, this exists. Don't forget about it." Haha.
What is coming first? Star Citizen or System Shock?
Uh,
Probably
it's
System
hard
Shock.
to say. No Man's Skyrim is. It's hard to say when it'll come out.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing you wanted to talk about was this little thing. I don't know. You don't talk about it very often, but it's this Warhammer thing.
Nobody has ever heard of Warhammer on this podcast before, so when they brought it up in the PC gaming show, I was ecstatic to talk about it.
Yeah.
Except they also didn't really say much about it. They talked to some devs and they were talking about like the inspirations for the game. They had gone to the Warhammer Museum and looked at like the display boards of all the models. And I like you could tell in the interview that it hit them like that they caught the interest of the game, the playing out these epic battles, and they're like, I don't want to just like look at this. I want to be a part of this. That's the mood that they're trying to nail for the game. And I had a proposal for them, which is to play Tabletop Simulator 40K in VR.
Yeah.
We could probably do this, and I'm trying to like get to know the system well enough to do it, but it's a pretty hunky time investment just to learn. But I think we're getting pretty close to where like we could actually make a pretty close to simulated tabletop like simulation and have it be epic as fuck.
Probably. We like what was it? Star Wars chess?
Yeah, sort of like on that level. And the other thing that comes to mind is like I think I'm just describing StarCraft, but
That's
that's okay. Let's make a good StarCraft again.
Well, I
Make
mean,
StarCraft great again.
they just released Total War Warhammer 3.
And yes, and that's for fantasy. I want my space opera reading.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. 4K and Warhammer are similar but different things.
They resemble they're loosely connected through something called the warp, and I do not have the time to explain the warp to you right now.
I think we have 33 minutes for you to explain the warp to me.
Okay.
No, please don't. It was a joke. But
all started with the Eye of Terror.
Is it a multiverse thing or is it a
Yeah.
Okay. That's all you got to say.
The daemons of Age of Sigmar are the same daemons of 40K.
Oh, okay. And then they cross over because of the warp, which I think is in the Space Marine game, the one that I played. Yeah.
Yep.
And
it's the same anti-existential stuff.
Okay.
It's hard to describe.
Right. All right. So, and that's really all I could find. Those few stories. I guess that this PC game showcase was like 2 hours long, and really nothing happened other than what we spoke about. And even that was kind of a stretch.
A lot of teasers. Which
yeah.
Good for investors, I guess. I could never see a teaser again, and that would be a-okay with me. Don't show me something until you're ready to show it.
Yep. And let's talk about our next thing we got to talk about. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you view it, an old friend has died. And honestly, you know those friends that you kind of you have a falling out with during high school, and then you look back and you're like, man, they kind of always sucked.
Well, I think you might be projecting, but go on.
But this friend has died, and it was Internet Explorer is officially support for Internet Explorer has officially ended.
Rest in peace, sweet prince.
You can still access Internet Explorer if you would like. Why? But I don't know. But you can access Internet Explorer if you're on Windows 10. You can go to the start menu and type in Internet Explorer and load up MSN.com. but it's already out of date, and they're just going to continue making it more and more out of date. I don't know what the plan is. Are they going to uninstall it?
They're going to remote. Bill Gates is personally going to remote into every Windows computer on the planet and uninstall it by right clicking and going to uninstall.
Maybe. So it says here, Internet Explorer won't be consigned to the history books entirely. It will live on through Internet Explorer mode in Microsoft Edge, allowing access to legacy internet-based websites and applications directly from the Chromium-based browser. The mode will be supported through at least 2029, while those on 8.1 and 7 enhanced security updates can use IE mode until 2023 and then you can enable it. But I'm trying to see if it's actually going to be removed. It says it says right here, the browser's desktop app will go out of support tomorrow, which was earlier this week, on the most recent versions of Windows 10. It will not be available on Windows 11. It never has been available on Windows 11. Soon afterwards, Microsoft will push out a Windows update that completely removes Internet Explorer from Windows 10 devices altogether and redirects users to Edge if they try to access the app. So right now, from what I can see, because I did an update last night, you can still access Internet Explorer, but at some point in the near future, they're going to release a Windows update that will remove Internet Explorer from your computer. Which, good? That's a good thing, right?
Probably a good thing as far as like reducing your attack surface. Like, I mean, it's definitely not anybody's go-to browser, but it's certainly also not the most secure by any means.
There is, there are a couple people that I work with. So I don't know why. I think it's a group policy thing in the specific OU that somebody's in an Active Directory. But there are some people who every morning they restart their computer and their default web browser redirects to Internet Explorer. And guess who can't do anything about group policy?
I'm guessing it's you without access to admin policy.
Yeah. So there's a couple things that I wanted to do since I've been there. And one is, change it so that their default web browser is either Chrome, Internet Explorer, or like just doesn't automatically change in the morning so they can pick out which one they want. And then there's another thing that I've wanted to do that has nothing to do with Internet Explorer, but it's a VPN setting that I want them to change. Is there anything, you work in a hospital environment, healthcare facility?
Right. We are I was going to say surprisingly, but actually if it wasn't this way, I'd be very concerned. We are pretty like locked down like Fort Knox there.
Good.
There is one service we use that I still prefer, IE, over the Chrome/Edge experience.
Yeah.
And that is the tool that we use for printers. When I try to use it in Chrome or Edge, it's like, you need a plugin and we're not compatible. And we got to be in the compatibility. I go into Internet Explorer. It's like, I got you, bro.
There was, until recently, it was like 6 months ago. It was a while ago now, I guess. We updated from our old phone system to Ring Central. And the old phone system, we were using ShoreTel, which is a piece of shit. I hate it. In my interview, I think I've told you, in my interview, they asked me, hey, have you ever worked with VoIP before? And I was like, oh, yeah, there's one that I've worked with a couple. I've worked with like Jabber, and I worked with another one at another company. I hated it, but, they're all pretty much the same. And they're like, oh, we use ShoreTel. And I was like, that piece of shit, that's the one. In the interview. And they're like, yeah, we hate it too. So.
At least he's honest.
Yeah. But yeah, so that required us to use Internet Explorer, but then we got rid of it, so we don't need that anymore. And I don't think there's anything else that launches an Internet Explorer. We do have another program that's really, really old, but we run it on a remote desktop thing. So we remote into an instance of this program running on a desktop, and we use that. And I'm not fond of it, but we have to use it because it's a dentist standard across the United States. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think they should be killing off Internet Explorer? I don't know. I know why they decided to go with Edge instead of Internet Explorer, because they wanted a web browser that they didn't have to rely on old tech, basically, and just build up on that old tech, because there's a lot of security vulnerabilities in the original Internet Explorer, and if you just keep upgrading those, you're going to continue to have those vulnerabilities.
And that's resources you have to get that you have to dedicate to keeping it safe.
Yeah. So it was good that they moved, but I did think it was funny that they had to keep it with an E at the beginning of the name. They had to.
I've been told that was basically so people who wouldn't realize what happened would still be able to find their internet browser on their desktop.
It's for old people.
I wasn't gonna say that specifically, but I mean,
that's what it's for. It's for people who were old and are like, they think of the internet as that E, and so if that E wasn't there, they wouldn't be able to use the internet. I have a story about that too.
When my UI changes, it drives me nuts.
Yeah. I have something to say about that too. I had a coworker who Internet Explorer wasn't working for the work that she was doing. It had worked, but there was an update. I tried to fix it. It wouldn't work. So I installed Firefox. And I was like, use Firefox. Here you go. So you can go to I copied over all your passwords. I copied over all your bookmarks. Everything works fine. It looks the same. And she's like, I don't want to use Firefox. And I was like, but it actually works. She's like, I want to use Internet Explorer. I'm like, all right, I'll make it work for you. And I changed the icon. That's it.
You have told me this story before, yeah. And it's just got to let people go through their motions sometimes. It's ridiculous. A lot of my job is actually like the friction between training people and people refusing to be taught.
Yep. So anyway, I'm happy Internet Explorer is dead. Yay! So if you regularly use Internet Explorer and you're on Windows 10, there may be an update that comes that completely disables it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made it as something you could download from like a legacy applications feature in Windows eventually, like for, systems admins on legacy devices, basically. Like the people who have, I can't imagine why, but maybe there's security reasons or software compatibility reasons. Like they can't just rip this out of machines.
Yes, you can.
And yes, they can. That's the correct answer, but
do it.
Unless you're on an LTSC kind of a long-term whatever the fuck that means,
service agreement.
Something. That's what it is. Yeah, they keep it rolled back like intentionally. Unless you're in some sort of agreement like that for your legacy systems, you might want to be on top of this before it becomes an issue.
Well, and also there is a way to make sure that this doesn't happen. Is you could either, if you're a system admin, you could say don't install update KB blah 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 blah.
Right.
That removes Internet Explorer. Or if it does get removed, you can go into the computers in question and remove that update and probably have Internet Explorer have access to Internet Explorer again.
Hopefully.
Probably. And then we've got our last story to talk about is this Amazon is giving away 30 games, including, well, there's a little bit of a spoiler. We're going to go through all of them. Mass Effect Legendary Edition as part of Prime Day. So on Prime Day, they are going to be giving away 30 video games. Prime Day is July 12th. And why is it 2 days if it's Prime Day? Anyway.
Prime days.
July 12th and 13th. They're allowing subscribers to download 25 indie games, including Metal Slug 2. We're going to go through all of them. Through its Prime Gaming service starting June 21st, with the bigger names arriving during the event itself. So, you know how they do, like, oh, this deal will unlock in an hour. And they'll do that with some of the bigger games. We'll go through the games and see if you recognize any of them. So the indie games that are going to be the indie games that are going to be available are not really all of them are indie games, but okay. 10 Second Ninja X, Eight Doors, Aram's Afterlife Adventure. Do you recognize that game?
I'll let you know when I recognize one. You just blow through them
Okay.
as fast as you can, baby.
Addling Adventures, Bang Bang Racing, Clouds and Sheep 2, Death Squared, Fatal Fury Special.
I mean, I know Fatal Fury. I don't really know what Fatal Fury Special is. Okay, I'll give this one half a point because I do know the series Fatal Fury.
Okay. Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams. Do you know that one?
I do not. Should I?
Kind of. The Gianna Sisters were, well, the original game was released as a Super Mario clone.
1987 Commodore 64 title.
Yeah. And then they came out with a couple, like, this actually is a good game. The Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams, from what I understand, is actually a good game. And I think it's on the 3DS. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, this is coming out to PC. I pulled it up.
Yep.
I mean, it looks colorful.
Yeah. Gone Viral. Hue. The name is Gone Viral. And then the next game is Hue, Hue. The next game is Manual Samuel.
I know that one.
I don't know that one.
Manual Samuel is a delightful game where you have to, you know, QWOP.
Yes.
It's kind of like if QWOP was an action game.
Oh, I see. Like, just impossible to control.
Not impossible, but it's Manual Samuel because you have like no control of your body. So like, you need to breathe. You need to blink. It's fun. It is. I'm sure it sounds annoying by that description. It is a lot of fun. It's worth at least looking at.
Next game is a game you will have known, Metal Slug 2.
This is not an indie game. Amazon, what are you doing?
That's what I was like. That's not an indie game. Metal Unit.
I got a Metal Unit. No, I don't.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
Pumped BMX Pro. Yeah, okay, not ringing bell. Puzzle of the Year 10-pack. Why? Why would you need a 10-pack of that? Rain World. Road Trip 3-pack.
Also why?
Yeah, Samurai Showdown 2. Now that game, if you haven't played it, really good. I played it in the arcade. It's a Neo Geo game. Really good.
Yeah.
Was not
I played Samurai Showdown 1.
Yeah, they're good. They're good games. Serial Cleaner. I've heard of this game, but
I'm not sure if this is like Viscera Squad, but less sci-fi or.
I think it is. I think it's basically.
Oh no, this is on Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Crow's Eye. The Dark Side Detective. I don't know about that one, but I'm looking this one up, The Dark Side Detective, because it sounds. Oh, it looks like it's an old adventure game. Like a 2D adventure game. It looks okay, I guess. We've got King of Fighters 2000 and 2002.
Amazon, what are you doing?
And then the last indie game is the Metronomicon Slay the Dance Floor.
Which just looks like off-brand Crypt of the Necrodancer to me.
Yeah, it really does. And then what were the 5? Okay, so the 5 games that they're releasing that were not. I'm sorry, the 5 games that are going to be free if you're a Prime member is Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and Star Wars Republic Commando.
And Mass Effect.
And Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Was there anything else? The rest of the premium titles are made up of racing games, Grid Legends, and Need for Speed Heat.
I think people actually do say good things about Need for Speed Heat. Is that the newest one?
I have no idea.
Oh, no, it is not. Never mind. This looks like it is an older title.
So now, while a lot of these games no one really gives a shit about, right? Like, a lot of these games are a bunch of indie games that people probably they're probably okay, but they're not ones that are making headlines considering we don't know many of them. I would say that if you're an Amazon Prime member and you have even a little bit of gaming that you like doing, might as well pick them up.
The price is right, I
Yeah,
guess.
I hate that I support Amazon.
Yeah,
You
stop that.
know, it's the I have shipping and I'm on Twitch and like, what am I gonna do? Go to Glimish?
Yeah,
That I already
ah,
tried to move away from Twitch and they pulled me back in.
that is unfortunate that they did that to you. They did you dirty.
They did, yeah. So, um, if you didn't know, Twitch is owned by Amazon now. Uh, so that's what we're referring to there. But like Amazon has a lot of shady business practices. They treat their employees like shit. There's a lot of things I would not support them on. Uh, but for me, there's no real alternative. Like, I guess I could go to Walmart and use their shipping, right? Like, but
That's not much better.
yeah, is Walmart better than Amazon for how they treat their workers? No. And unless I'm wanting to pay more money to go somewhere else and actually have to pay shipping, unfortunately, I kind of have to stick with Amazon until something better comes along. Um, what are your thoughts? Do you have Amazon Prime?
I do not have Amazon Prime. I buy like maybe 2 things off Amazon a year, maybe.
Okay. Okay. Are there
Not
any
for
of
me
these?
is what this article is. And most of these games who asked for like Street Fighter 2000 and 2002, did they just have codes in a warehouse somewhere that oh, we should probably do something with those. How did
Probably.
they make this list?
I don't know how the codes are gonna work, if it's gonna be linked to your Amazon account or if you can just like get a code for Steam or something. But if I get codes, I already have Mass Effect Legendary Edition, so you can
I
have
also
that.
already have it.
Oh,
Otherwise, I would take it. Like, and that's maybe the only game that I look at this and I was like, oh yeah, that's worth any money. Like up to an actual game's price.
Republic Commando's good. I like I
Uh,
mean, the Star Wars games are good, but
was Republic Commando the one where you control a squad?
yeah.
Yeah, that game was pretty dope.
And honestly, all those Star Wars games are pretty good. The Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Like, they're all
If you're
good
into that sort
games. They're all good games, but they've been released so many times. You can get them on Steam, especially during like holiday events for like $2 a piece.
I
So
actually
it's
have Republic Commando on like Switch. A lot of these the Street Cleaner, that's on Switch too. A lot of these, if portability is your thing, I guess there's probably already more better consoles, and that's true until Steam Deck starts getting out more.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, that's Prime Day, the deals that they're doing there, and I don't think there's anything else we really need to talk about this week. Nothing glowing happened. Nothing. We already
There
went
are
through E3 week.
right there are things going on in the world right now of technology, but like none of them are really things that are worth mentioning. Like there's interesting things going on. There's Google AI and like but none of that is actually like interest. A lot of that's just being hyped up for the sake of, oh look it's the next step in AI, but it's a glorified chatbot.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Like,
feel like we need to spend 20 minutes on an article just to say it's a chatbot and this guy is I personally think he's trying to just like get his cloud out there. Like it's me, I'm the guy who advocates for AI rights and yeah, people
remember
know your name now, I guess.
remember when Microsoft created an AI and Twitter turned it into a racist in less than 24 hours?
Like an hour and they had to
Yeah.
shut it down. I do remember.
And Microsoft is like, "Come on, guys, we can't do this again. You guys made it racist." Because it was like
And
tweeting anti he was tweeting
it was
Holocaust
like,
denier.
yeah, straight out like 4chan levels of just shit post quality as it's calling the entire internet. Like it's gonna find that crap.
Yeah, well, it wasn't combing the internet. I guess it was based off the interactions it would have with people.
Which, then you get weaponized idiocracy in the way that 4chan is, and you direct that, it's going to get bad.
It is. It is. But I would like to thank you for being here, Connor.
All that you had.
You are all that I had. Just in case anybody missed it, Aroa will only be here every other week, unless we can talk him into doing the podcast while he's working.
Which would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I don't have anything against that. I just hold on, I got a call.
That is like the best kind of wage theft to me.
Have you ever did you turn it off and on again? No? Okay. You should do that. No, I guess I'll stay on the phone with you while you do that. Okay, you don't know where the off button. I did have somebody, and then I'm going to leave. But the other day, she was like, I tried turning it off or turning it back on, but it's not working. It's just saying no display. And I was like, send me a picture of your computer. And she sent me a picture, and I was like, that's the monitor. You're going to want to turn on the computer portion, the other little box next to it. And she's like, oh, that worked. And I was like, good. Good for you.
I'm closing this ticket.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, thank you for being here. We'll be back next week playing.
I thought you already stopped the recording.
Nope. We'll be back next week doing some more podcasting. Goodbye.
I'll have an IT story to accidentally end the podcast with next week too.